The death of Jesus, a story of sacrifice, love, and redemption. Matthew 26-27, Mark 14-15, Luke 22-23, John 18-19. Before the cross became a symbol of hope, it was an instrument of shame. Before the world spoke of salvation, there was suffering. Before resurrection morning, there was a dark Friday. This is the story of the death of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the Lamb without blemish, who gave his life so the world might live. The night of betrayal, it was night. Jerusalem was quiet, but tension filled the air. Jesus had just shared the Passover meal with his disciples. He broke bread and said, "This is my body, given for you." He lifted the cup and said, "This is my blood of the covenant, poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins." The disciples did not fully understand, but Jesus knew. The hour had come. They walked to the Garden of Gethsemane. There, beneath the olive trees, Jesus prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." His sorrow was so deep, his sweat fell like drops of blood. While he prayed, his disciples slept. Then suddenly, torches appeared, footsteps echoed. Judas arrived with soldiers. With a kiss, he betrayed the Son of Man. Jesus did not resist. He did not run. He stepped forward and said, "I am he," and they arrested him. Jesus before the authorities. Jesus was taken from one trial to another. First, to the high priest. False witnesses accused him. They mocked him. They struck him. Then they asked, "Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed One?" Jesus answered calmly, "I am." At that moment, they declared him worthy of death. Because it was Passover, they brought him to the Roman governor Pontius Pilate. Pilate questioned him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus replied, "My kingdom is not of this world." Pilate found no guilt in him, yet the crowd grew louder, "Crucify him, crucify him." Though innocent, Pilate gave in to fear. He washed his hands and said, "I am innocent of this man's blood." Jesus was handed over to be crucified, the road to the cross. The soldiers took Jesus and scourged him. They whipped his back until flesh was torn. They pressed a crown of thorns onto his head. They mocked him, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews." Blood ran down his face, yet he did not curse. He did not threaten. They placed a heavy wooden cross on his shoulders and forced him to carry it through the streets. Weak from pain and loss of blood, Jesus fell. A man named Simon of Cyrene was forced to help carry the cross. Women wept as Jesus passed by. He turned to them and said, "Do not weep for me, but for yourselves and for your children." The crucifixion. They reached a place called Golgotha, the place of the skull. There they laid Jesus on the cross. Nails were driven through his hands, nails through his feet. They lifted the cross and dropped it into the ground. Above his head they placed a sign, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews." On either side of him, 2 criminals were crucified. The crowd mocked him. He saved others. He cannot save himself. "If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross." Even the soldiers mocked him. Yet Jesus looked upon them and prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." One of the criminals insulted him. The other said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus replied, "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." Darkness and suffering. From noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness covered the land. The sun refused to shine. Creation mourned its creator. Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" He bore the weight of sin, every lie, every betrayal, every act of rebellion. His mother Mary stood nearby, heartbroken. Jesus saw her and said to John, "Behold your mother." Even in his suffering, he cared for others. Knowing that everything was now finished, Jesus said, "I am thirsty." They offered him sour wine. Then he cried out with a loud voice, "It is finished." And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. The moment he died, at that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in two, from top to bottom. The barrier between God and humanity was broken. The earth shook. Rocks split open. A Roman centurion, standing nearby, saw it all and said, "Surely this man was the Son of God." Jesus was dead. The Son of God had given his life, not taken from him, but freely given. The burial. A man named Joseph of Arimathea, a follower of Jesus, boldly asked Pilate for his body. He wrapped Jesus in clean linen and placed him in a new tomb. A heavy stone was rolled in front. Guards were stationed. The tomb was sealed. Hope seemed lost. The disciples scattered. The sky was silent. But heaven was not finished. The cross was not the end of the story. What looked like defeat was actually victory. What looked like death was the price of life. Jesus died so sin could be forgiven. Jesus died so humanity could be restored. Jesus died because love demanded it. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. And though he lay in the tomb, Sunday was coming. Subscribe and share.